All right, welcome back, students. Today we're learning about world music from somewhere else in the world. So why don't we zoom out a little bit and get us to the planet so we can see the entire planet before I tell you where we're going today. So that was school. Now we're going to zoom out and we can see North America, Canada, United States, Mexico here. So we're going to go to the country of India. And in researching India, India has a humongous history and a humongous amount of music that has come out of there. So I've chosen just a couple of genres from India that really are very indicative of India. So in order to get there, we need to cross the Pacific Ocean from the United States, where we were, and see if you can't see India as it pops up. Now on the continent of Asia. Can you see India yet? All right, if you saw right there, we're going here to India. Let me click on it, it'll zoom us in a little bit. India. Why don't we see a few photos as if we were tourists going to India? Remember, India is a very big country. So these are photos from all over India. As you can see, the buildings are really cool and unique. And a lot of these are going to be, again, kind of like the last one. We're going to see a lot of beaches because India has a lot of land right up against the ocean, which makes for some nice beaches. But the first genre of music we're going to talk about in India is kind of their classical music. Something that's been around in India for a very long time and has a lot of tradition behind it. It's called Carnatic music. And Carnatic music came mostly out of southern India. So south is down, right? So down here. This would be northern India, southern India. Some states that it came out of are, and I did not grow up in India, so you'll have to forgive me if I mispronounce some of these names. But some states that Carnatic music really came out of are Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Tamil Nadu, and the little island, not so little actually, the island off the south of India, Sri Lanka, is where a lot of this Carnatic music came from. And this is a very old music. We like to think of Western classical music as being old. It is very old, but equally old is this Carnatic music that comes out of India. So why don't we take a look at some music being played? Now I imagine this music sounded a little strange to you. Maybe some of you maybe even found it a little bit funny. That's because we do not get to hear this type of music very often. This is old music from India, and a lot of these instruments may look very foreign to you as well. Why don't we look at some of these? This longer drum is called, and I am going to mispronounce this, Mirangdam? Mirdangam? I hope that's right. Mirdangam. It's a percussion instrument, obviously. He's hitting it with his hands, and he's hitting it in a wide variety of ways. Watch him as he plays, because there is a skin on this side. Remember, we call that on drums the skin, what we hit, the skin. And there's one on this side too. Let's watch him. And you'll see sometimes he hits it with his whole hand, sometimes he's hitting it with just his finger. It's really an instrument that you really need to sit down and spend a lot of time with. It's not as simple as just hitting it with your hands. Watch. Why don't we take a look at this instrument? We learned this is a percussion instrument. Now, what family of instruments might this be? Percussion, strings, brass, woodwind? If you guess this is a string instrument, you'd be very correct because it has strings on it. Little hard to see because it's sideways, but if you look closely, she is playing on strings. She's plucking right here, and it has, just like on a guitar, has frets going up and down. Take a look. Some of these other instruments. We can take a look at this right here. This one is called a tambura. And this one, you can see she's only playing with one hand. And she's not playing with a bunch of technicality like she is here. That's because this is called a drone instrument. Pretty much her job is to keep plucking this one note. And that's kind of where the one note that centers around that she can really play around. So she's just plucking this and kind of holding out one note. We call that a drone. So if I were a drone, I just hold out one note. So I would sing la and keep it going through the whole song. Let's take a look. Let's take a look at this. It's the high-sounding percussion instrument, if you can hear the difference from the drum and this metallic one. Let's listen. What is this? Maybe it actually may not be metallic. Let me take a look. This instrument is called the ghatam. It is also another percussion instrument because we hit it to make a sound. See if you can see all the different ways that he's hitting this instrument to get different sounds. Why don't we move on a little bit from this video? In order to understand Carnatic music a little bit more, we need to understand improvisation. And I have another video I'm going to pull up for you now and switch over to that explains improvisation.
Hey students, there are two types of music. There is music that's improvised and there is music that is not improvised. And improvised music means there's no plan, not really. There might be a little bit of rules that you need to follow for the music to sound right, but for the most part, improvised music, people make it up on the spot. And non-improvised music, there is a plan. There's like a whole sheet, we call it sheet music, that we follow. And it's like a plan for what the song is going to sound like. And as long as you read the plan right, we call it the sheet music, as long as you read the sheet music right, the music's going to end up sounding just fine. So improvised means there's no plan, you're kind of making it up on the spot. And non-improvised means it's written out for you. There's a whole plan where we've got a plan to make this particular song sound good. So I'm going to give you an example on my saxophone of both. I have a song queued up right now. It's called Sir Duke. It's by Stevie Wonder. And the melody goes something like this. So this would be non-improvised music. There is the plan. I have the music written out for me right here. It sounds... And then halfway through the song, I'm going to go like this. And that's me now making up something. I'm not reading the part anymore. I'm just going to make up something over the background instruments. So here's the thing again. I'm going to show you non-improvised music first, the written out part, the part... And then halfway through, I'm going to go like this, and I'm going to show you what improvised music sounds like, where you make it up on the spot. Just off the top of your head, no game plan. You're just going to play. Sound good? Here we go. Here's Sir Duke. I'm going to play non-improvised at first, and I'm going to play improvised after that. And all these background instruments, they're pre-recorded. You can find this kind of thing on YouTube, so you can play along. This is non-improvised. I'm reading this. So you get the idea. I was playing that first part, not improvised, then when I went like this, it was all improvised, made up on the spot. Kind of make it up on your mind. So that gives you a good idea. Improvised music, make it up on the spot, maybe a little bit of a game plan. Non-improvised music, it is all written out for you, just like this. Those are the two types of music, improvised and not improvised.
Okay, students, now that you're back and you've learned about improvisation, you should know that Carnatic music is improvised as well, just like the jazz tune I was playing for you on the last one. Everything is made up on the spot. All those players are making that up on the spot. They're just making it up as they go. So knowing that, take a look. I've got another piece of Carnatic music for you. And see if you can see that. They're all working together. They're making eye contact. Let's take a look. So these three musicians are all just kind of making it up on the spot. And to get good at this takes a lot of practice and a lot of knowing the other musicians that you're playing with and kind of communicating without even using words. They're kind of using music to communicate with each other. They're going in a direction without even talking. They can communicate what they want to do, which is very impressive. We have over here that same drone instrument, the tambura. You probably noticed this instrument because we see it around quite a bit. We have the violin, but we don't know what this other percussion instrument is. Let's take a look. This one right here. These two percussion instruments are drums as well, right? Drum, and we have the skin on top. That's what we hit, and it makes that sound. These are called tablas. These are Indian drums. A low one, remember big drums generally mean they're the lower one, and the smaller drum, higher, tablas. Let's take a listen to the tablas and our violinist, my bad. Incredible. We have these musicians, they just improvise, make it up on the spot by communicating with each other without even talking. They can know what they want to play next. Let's close out this lesson. Remember, this is more like Indian classical music. This music has been around forever. Very old music. Why don't we listen to something new? Something if you went to India you might hear that's been just composed recently. And this would be an example of non-improvised music. This is all planned out. Somebody wrote it all out, and we put a big old bunch of singers together, a bunch of instrumentalists together, and it even comes with a music video, just like modern pop does. So this would be like Indian pop music, stuff that's popular right now. Now, I wonder if you noticed that the singer and the violinist have a very similar style. Let's listen, because some of this classical music bleeds into pop music. Just like classical music, our classical Western music kind of blades into our pop music. Same here. Let's take a listen. Let's take a listen. Can you hear it? Yes, no, maybe so? I hope so. I'm going to stop talking. I'm just going to let this music video play until the end of this music lesson. All right, students, let's wrap up this music lesson. That was Music of India. And remember, people all over the world listen to all kinds of different music. They don't just listen to what I just played for you. These are just two examples of Indian pop music that's popular right now, and their classical music, some music from way long ago when it was first written. All righty, see you for the next one.